everyone. Welcome to the Premier Challenge of Southern California, last one of the season of Ultra before the NAIC. My name is Kyle Hudson. Alongside me is
Patrick Rittenauer.
And we'll be taking you along this top cut of our Premier Challenge. We have Jackson Finch, Dina. I'm not going to try to pronounce her last name. She's Egyptian. Jackson's running Winala and Groudon with Incineroar, Finny, Stakataka, and good old Kang making a comeback. Dina's using Xerneas, the X-Ray, Xerneas, Rayquaza, Crobat, Finny, Incineroar, Landorus. Patrick, your thoughts on the matchup?
Well, both players have very strong teams. Like, Lunadon has proven to be a very strong core, and especially with Kangaskhan in the mix. And, X-Ray has proven to massively improve since its last appearance in 16, because now it has Incin and Feeny to work with. I think this could go either way. There's no strong matchup fade one way or the other. So it's going to be down to the players here.
It'll be interesting to see. We have a few not so often. Ooh, Jackson leads with Stakataka and Incineroar. Dina goes with Incineroar and Rayquaza. Incineroar, a great option for the lead, affecting both the physical attackers of Stakataka and Rayquaza. Oh, and we see the Intimidates. One's a little faster than the other. Do you think that matters? Do you think it's a speed tie?
I'm not sure if it's a speed tie because as we can tell from Jackson's lead, it looks like he's trying to go straight for the Trick Room setup here because maybe he's recognized that that's what Dina's team is weakest to. He has Rayquaza, Xerneas, both of which don't do well in Trick Room at all.
Both of his restricteds are slower than Dina's, for sure, preventing her from setting up that Xerneas. Rayquaza, obviously the fastest one. As we see Dina get that Rayquaza out, she's like, it's gotta go.
Yeah, and this was actually a good play by Dina because both of Jackson's Pokemon don't want to stay in on this, and there could be like a ground DMZ, and Jackson switches out the Stakataka, recognizing that that might happen.
Trying to stay proactive, bring in the ever so bulky Tapu Fini.
And it looks...
Fake outs, and Jackson goes for the turn one U-turn. Get that positioning. Ooh, Dina went for the safe play, of course, fake out the Trick Room.
Yep.
So now, she would be able to threaten it perhaps with the Landers, but here we go.
Now, on paper, this may look like a bad situation for Landorus and Incineroar, but on a team like Jackson's, Feeny is not likely to have Scald just because Groudon would nullify it. So, but it could still have Icy Wind to slow down that Landorus and all that.
Perhaps Gravity to support, and a Heal Pulse, Swagger perhaps to support the Groudon. So, but Landorus is faster if it is running that Z. That is a certain one-hit KO onto the Groudon. Even if it protects, that's some pretty good damage. So both players are probably thinking they can make some offensive moves right here.
Yeah, and it doesn't look like Jackson is in a very good spot here because Landorus can just use its Z move into whatever it wants.
Into whatever. Here comes the play. Dina takes out the Incineroar, goes into the Rayquaza, going for a little more offense, maybe thinking, ground move going into... Oh, Jackson protects.
Yeah, recognizing that...
Maybe the Icy Wind here. Oh, we see the Ground Z from the Landorus. Let's see what it goes on to. The Landorus has not been intimidated, correct?
I don't think so.
Ooh, I wonder how much this would do maybe if it's probably going into the Groudon.
It'll probably go into the Groudon. Yeah, so good play by Jackson recognizing that the Z move was likely to go into Groudon.
Maybe Penny went for the Icy Wind. If it does, both of these Pokemon are kind of really hurting. Ooh, big damage from a support move right there.
Yeah, solid 3-hit KO on both of those from a support move, and likely with no investment either.
Well, too bad the wind was not up. If only Rayquaza was Mega Evolved already, at least would have nerfed the damage, but still the stat drop is the main important thing from that move.
Now we can tell from the damage that if it weren't for Jackson going to protect that Groudon, it would be done.
For sure. Dina's probably she's got that Intimidate in the back from it. She's got double Intimidate to save her, so that's nice, but certainly, even if a switch into, oh, Jackson takes it out.
And double Intimidate is very strong because it can just neutralize physical attackers like Groudon.
Yeah. Let's see what happens here. After that Icy Wind, no doubt Dina's very pestered by that Tapu Fini. Says, I gotta get rid of that thing. But then that Intimidate from that Incineroar, boom. Good old Incineroar making things difficult for everyone. Another Icy Wind. This time the winds are active, so not going to do as much damage.
But it's still going to slow down.
Still going to slow them down even more.
And that's really the main reason you use Icy Wind. It's not going to damage.
Yeah. See, Dragon Ascent here, and that's at -1. So who's that? That's going into a Incineroar.
Looks like Dina really wants what was Groudon out there.
Groudon.
And that did a lot of damage.
It did do a lot of damage.
After Intimidate.
Perhaps that is, after Intimidate, perhaps a choice banned.
Maybe.
With that kind of damage, but Incineroar gets to pop off that berry, get some health. Landorus is out of there. Says, I ain't taking another one of the Icy Winds. And, see if Dina can probably bring in Incineroar. That'd be the smart thing.
Yeah.
He's the best Pokemon, so.
Because now it can just fake out.
He can fake out. He could U-turn to really keep her momentum up. He just popped off an Intimidate that, all that does is just make sure that Incineroar can't do anything to that Rayquaza. I would see. I would think maybe a fake out to neutralize that Finny.
Yeah,
and then
probably.
maybe a free switch into something that is not afraid of that Incineroar. And that way you can get that speed back up on your end.
Because Dina really does not want this Fini to just keep spamming Icy Wind.
And right now that's probably what, even though it's nerfed from the wind, it's still probably Jackson's best option.
Yeah, all that adds up.
Dina's team being very weak. As we see Rayquaza, he's out, and in comes a Finny of her own. Nature's Madness, good damage.
Goes into the Incineroar.
U-turn. Get that momentum.
Yeah.
She's on top of it. See what she brings in. Something not threatened.
Yeah, Dina can really go in. Dina can really go into whatever she wants.
We'll see. Maybe that Finny already used its attack. This
Incineroar,
no doubt, is probably using U-turn.
Yeah. Probably.
Probably.
And Dina goes into Rayquaza because we can see that probably Landorus' main stab move is Earthquake, and that would target her own Pokemon. Yeah. So Rayquaza is the better thing to go into.
We saw the ground Z did. Perhaps what if it's special though? What if it's Earth Power special Landorus though?
It could
posing a certain kind of risk. We don't know that yet.
We have not seen for sure if it's physical or special.
Yeah. Now we're definitely. Oh, in comes. Oh, Jackson's got his position of Finny.
Yeah, this is a very good position for Jackson because now Icy Wind will take out Rayquaza because there's no longer any Delta Stream to protect it.
Yeah. And the Sun, it can't. If it's banded and it has Waterfall, can't use Waterfall.
That's right.
Oh, but Jackson bring Bates. Bates the Sun. And then, this Finny maybe have Icy Wind. Get rid of the wind. Make Icy Wind do more damage. That would be
we do see Dragon Ascent.
Cheeky play. Take away the weather.
We do see Dragon Ascent go into the Incineroar, so that's gone.
Cheeky play. Get that Icy Wind. Get rid of the wind. Icy Wind does more damage. There. Oh. You see Dina's Icy Wind. Only hitting with Finny, not much damage. And Jackson, perhaps. Icy Wind.
Jackson also goes for Icy Wind, so that Rayquaza's out of there.
Yeah, down he goes. Ooh. After that, the defense drop minus. -1 certainly. Cheeky play.
Yeah.
Jackson sacrificed the Incineroar.
So
take away the weather.
Both players have lost one Pokemon. So
player.
it's still proving to be an even match right now. And Dina goes into Incineroar, and Jackson goes into Stakataka. Now, see, this is a very risky play from Jackson because if if Dina went into Landorus instead, then that stack would be very threatened. So maybe stack has like Shukaberry. It doesn't have to worry about the Z move anymore.
Yeah. This is true. And it is at, it does not have to worry about the Z move. It is at -1 as
and Jackson switches it out.
Pops the Intimidate. And then knowing it's not threatened.
Perhaps we could be seeing like a Gravity here.
Yeah, Gravity. Ooh. I guess that Flare Blitz didn't do a lot of damage.
I did about a quarter in the sun. So.
Oh, a Skull! Ooh! Heel
Pulse!
Ooh!
That's a great play by Jackson because now that Groudon is nice and healthy.
Nice and healthy. Max health. Almost max health. All that work by Dina nullified.
Yeah, and Groudon is very physically bulky, so surely it can take an Earthquake.
Well, we saw
Landorus.
that Scald on Dina's Feeny, which is very interesting.
There's no longer a Rayquaza to allow her to use it that well.
Correct, but we can see that it's definitely part of her strategy to handle the Groudon, so having some of the answers.
Yeah, you very often see Scald on Feeny on X-Ray teams specifically for the Groudon. Yep, so now Jackson is in a Earth Power. So this is a special Groudon.
Oh, interesting. Special and then ice. On the most important Pokemon, the Icy Wind fails.
So now this game now comes down to whether Dina's Landorus is physical or special. Because if it's physical, that Groudon's taking a hit easy.
Sure, and you have that Stack Attacka in the back, who's also very weak to ground.
Yeah.
So no doubt, but very weak to an Icy Wind though. So Dina's got to get rid of that Tapu Fini desperately.
Yeah, definitely. But I'm not sure if she would be able to do it because Tapu Fini is very bulky. Landorus has already burned its C move, so I don't think anything can take out this Fini right now.
It's very tough. Maybe if she has Nature's Madness, and then who knows, a crit on an Earth Power, crit on an Earthquake, maybe.
Yeah.
There goes the Earthquake, so it is physical. Just gonna hit everything, see how much damage it does. Jackson elects not to protect anything.
So yeah, that's about a 2 KO on Groudon.
Eruption.
That
so it is a very quite the special Groudon there.
Yeah, that does
KO's
take out
Landorus.
Does take out Landorus from that range.
Does take out Heal Pulse.
But there's no target for it.
No target for Finny, for Dina's Finny. She was hoping that her Landorus lived whatever the hit was going to be.
Yeah, so this is going to be game one for Jackson.
It's definitely game one for Jackson. Few plays went one way or the other, but Dina definitely seemed like she had a good game plan. A lot of options. I like the Heal Pulse. But Jackson positioned well. He was the one who got the Heal Pulse off.
We do see Dina forfeit here.
Forfeit. Jackson, game one winner of Top Cut 1 versus 4, game 1.
So I think maybe Dina needs to be more careful about conserving that Z move because she really wants to get that Groudon out of the way.
Definitely, for sure. It's going to be tough. Jackson's got the Intimidate. Not afraid to switch it out. But a lot of Jackson's team is quite afraid of that ground move. So certainly up to Dina. She had a decent game plan with the double Intimidate.
Another thing is that Dina now knows that Groudon is special, which means that if she could bring Xerneas, because it could set up Geomancy, and Groudon can't really do that much.
That's it's a very keen, very good point. And then her game plan would just have to get rid of Stack.
Yeah.
So watch out for that. Could put the pressure on Jackson. We'll see. That's a very good point. We'll see how this plays out.
And if she does go that route, then Landorus only needs to worry about taking out Stack Attacka, and that shouldn't be too much of a trouble because Stack is not really guaranteed to run Protect. It might have just all supporting moves.
Yeah.
And then Gyro Ball, of course.
Gyro Ball, of course. And that double Intimidate.
And we
double Intimidate for the lead from Dina. Both Pokemon with U-turn, perhaps 2 U-turn out. And Jackson goes with Lunala. we see his Lunala for the first time.
Perhaps Jackson wants to go for the Tailwind here. Maybe he has that.
Maybe, perhaps. Perhaps he does.
And of course, Lunala also has a very strong Z move in Menacing Moonray's Maelstrom.
Yes, it does.
I can never pronounce that right.
We have, well, I couldn't tell you if you were wrong, so. I'd be curious to see. We have not seen Jackson's Z move, so yeah, odds are Lunala has it.
Although,
what
odds are
Dina
it
likes
doesn't...
to do, she probably wants to get, maybe hopefully saving that Landers. You don't want to probably U-turn out.
Yeah.
Break Shadow Shield.
Yeah.
And fake outs. Oh, goes for that one. She's faster.
Yeah.
And then
she goes for the Jackson is going for the Z move.
Lunala is faster, and if that hits Landers, is that gonna be a KO?
It should be.
Oh.
Because we've already seen the Z move from Dina's Landers, which means it's probably not that bulky.
Probably not. As we see Landers takes this hit. That's a very powerful Z move.
Yeah.
That just sucked Landers into black hole. Not many, one thing I know about black holes, you're not supposed to survive them.
Well,
if you get sucked into one.
Yeah.
And Landers having a hard time with that one. As expected. Down he goes.
Yeah.
Ooh.
Yeah, and not a lot of Pokemon Not a lot of Pokemon outside of Incineroar and Yveltal can survive that.
Not many, yeah.
But yeah, now that Lunala has used its C-move and it's staring down an Incineroar, it probably wants to get out of here. So we could probably expect a switch from Jackson here, perhaps a U-turn from Incineroar.
U-turn is always good play if it is not in KO range.
Yeah, and now Jackson is in a very good position in this whole game because that Landorus is gone, and that was the biggest threat.
And we see Moonguy's Beam just going to start chipping away at damage now. Doesn't care about anything. Who cares? Going to do as much damage as he can. Probably on the Finny.
Yeah.
Doesn't do much on Incineroar, and Finny's definitely... Ooh, Icy Wind.
Breaking Shadow Shield.
Breaking Shadow Shield.
So
Dina has a dark move if she uses...
Yeah, that would probably take out the Lunala here.
Speed drops come up. Throat Chop.
Throat Chop.
Down goes Lunala.
Yeah, I think Jackson maybe realized...
Did it matter? Probably not.
No. I think Jackson...
U-turn from the Incineroar.
I think Jackson maybe realized that Lunala's done its job here. Yep. It just had to get rid of that Landers.
Yep. Very, very good point. It did its job. But Dina maybe could be happy. She traded a non-restricted for a restricted KOs. So here comes Groudon. Certainly that Landers was a huge threat to Jackson's team.
Yeah.
Groudon is free to fire away.
Yeah. Groudon,
Eruption?
Yes. That could do.
Earth powers?
I
gonna Earth power in Incineroar right now. Dina's got flying Pokemon in the back, so now she knows that it's special. Who knows? Stack Attacka!
Yeah.
And Dina doesn't have that as second Intimidate.
We don't know what Dina has in the back yet, so that could be Rayquaza, so Jackson should probably be very careful about using Earth Power because, and Dina withdraws the Incineroar, and Rayquaza does come in. So Dina probably wanting to just get that Groudon out of here with the Scald. Although Jackson, recognizing this, goes for Protect.
And the Trick Room comes up, perhaps.
Yeah.
Oh, Dina did go for that. Very nice play. Here comes the Trick Room. But that Finny is not very threatened by that Groudon. And Rayquaza can just protect, bring up the wind, whatever. That Groudon is still very threatened, and Jackson's other Pokemon is an Incineroar. A Scald to that slot is going to deal damage right now.
Yeah.
So Dina is probably feeling pretty good, but that Stack Attack is very dangerous.
Yeah, although perhaps the Rayquaza could be threatened because you see Special Groudon sometimes carries Hidden Power Ice.
Oh. Well, with the wind up, would it be a KO? Perhaps
Probably
with
not.
that and Gyro Ball from a non intimidated. Here comes the Gyro Ball.
Yep, that goes into the Ray.
And into the Rayquaza and Eruption. That's going to do a lot of damage, and that's going to KO Rayquaza.
Yep.
Oh,
and
down goes
now
that Airlock.
Desolate Land is active again.
Active again. Scald. Heal
Pulse. No target.
A turn behind. It would appear.
Yeah. So now Jackson
Comes
has
Incineroar.
Stack Attack, which can just go for Gyro Ball into that Feeny, or even use Rock Slide and chip down that Incineroar.
Start chipping it down. Probably what will happen. Incineroar will no doubt come back in.
Yeah, and
it is not threatened by these Pokemon. They can just start chipping away.
And I wouldn't be surprised if Jackson switches out one of his Pokemon here to reset the Intimidates on it and get Intimidate onto Dina's Incineroar. Although we don't see that happening, Jackson just goes for the Gyro Ball, trying to chip down
doesn't
that
do much
Incineroar.
damage at all. Type Boost and he uses Icy Wind. Under Trick Room, is that wise? Probably not, but it's happening in front of our eyes. Jackson's Pokemon are now faster. Under Trick Room, and Gyro Ball's perhaps going to do more damage as it's slower.
Now, we saw Jackson go for Gyro Ball into the Incin twice now, which probably suggests he doesn't even have Rock Slide.
Probably suggests that. And here comes an Earth Power, just trying to get rid of that Incineroar. Down goes Incineroar.
Jackson was probably chipping down the Incineroar in case the Incineroar was AV or something.
Oh, if only a Heal Pulse happened on that Incineroar before. Incineroar could be free to fire away Flare Blitzes, do some damage.
And now there's really nothing that Dina can do here, because the only move it can have that can hit route on is Scald, and now there's no way to allow that to connect.
Icy Wind doesn't do much. She has Heal Pulse.
And we do
there goes the forfeits.
We do see the forfeit, so top 4 goes to Jackson. He will be moving on to finals.
He will be moving on to finals. Congrats to Jackson. And that will conclude our coverage of Game 1, I think.
Yep.
Any final thoughts, Patrick?
I think, it wasn't really up to the teams. It was really down to the players, because based on the teams alone, there wasn't any strong matchup one way or the other. Because, Jackson had a lot of tools, so did Dina.
They both had a lot of tools, indeed. Both the teams had an answer for each team, and I felt like they brought Pokemon that regularly threatened the other. Jackson made a few more plays, a few more timely switches or U-turns.
Definitely.
And was able to pull out with a victory.
Yep.
We will see you all for the final.
Sorry about these dorks in the background.
We'll be back.